on behalf of our colleagues, as a follow-up to our Pakatan Raja statement that we issued yesterday, calling on the military to come in and support the efforts to ensure amicable resolutions of the conflict and effectively deal with the militant insurgents. As a follow-up, may I suggest that we remind our friends that the battle and the war is not against the Sulus. The battle is against militant armed insurgents. And in dealing with militant armed insurgents, we have to be very clear, firm, to defend every inch of our homeland and to protect and ensure peace and stability of our nation. We've expressed our disgust when the UMNO mainstream media have used this to malign the opposition members, and me in particular, by attempting to infer that we have a deal to encourage this sort of a civil strike or military strike. I categorically deny and condemn this irresponsible attitude. Yesterday, I filed a civil suit against TV3 and Utusan, because I think you have crossed a decent line in civil conduct of political affairs. And I know that UMNO will continue to use this. And I wouldn't be surprised to start soliciting support and buying people to come and continue this smear. Questions were asked, why didn't I file a similar suit in the Philippines, mind you? To file against Philippine Inquirer would have, or Manila Times, had got to be done in Manila, not Kuala Lumpur, which many of these UMNO supporters fail to understand, or even Reuters. And the only reference they made was that from some sources it is believed that Anwar was in touch with the Sultan of Sulu. They made no reference to the fact that Anwar or the Pakatan were involved in the militant presence or insurgents' presence in Sabah. This was done by the mainstream media, controlled by Barisan Nasional, and namely UMNO controlled TV3 and Utusan. We are pleased with the, at least from what we gather thus far, the capabilities, resolve of the armed forces, which we have said, if it is without political interference, if it is not flip-flop and hesitation on part of the government and the leaders, because we have not seen any statement by the Minister of Home Affairs or Minister of Defense or the Prime Minister during the first 2 weeks, in fact belittling the problems, although there were mortars, M16s found. But nonetheless, we are, of course, extremely gratified with the effective measures taken by our armed forces, and I thank profoundly the police initial attempt to resolve this, and today the armed forces. We, of course, offer our deep condolences, sincere, deep condolences to the families of those who have been either died or gravely injured, both the army personnel, or police and army personnel, or the public, members of the public. Of course, it's a very sad case because it is not usual. Malaysia is relatively a very peaceful country, and insurgency or militant activity of such nature is clearly worrying, not only disconcerting, but causing a lot of grief not only to our friends, brothers and sisters in Sabah, but to the whole nation. We would call upon again, I reiterate what we did yesterday, Pakatan Raya, to call the government, and particularly the Prime Minister, to view this sort of conflicts or problems as a national problem. Together, the entire nation with a common resolve. They would require having a transparent manner dealing with it, at least getting political leaders involved, both government and opposition.